Hi guys, Winston here from ICAD Marketing. Just thought I'd do a quick video based on a question that someone asked me, and that question was, how does brand authority actually create more sales opportunities for your business, right? So let me walk through each step. So creating or building that brand authority comes from when you create educational content that shows your expertise in a particular area or field, right? Which helps a specific audience or customer segment to solve a specific problem or help them achieve a specific thing through your solution. But rather than simply introducing the solution to them or the product or the service or the offer, whatever it is that you sell, you actually help them to solve the problem through your content by educating them around the specific problem it is that they have. And as a result of that, it not only builds the know and like, but actually the trust factor. So they see you as an expert and a credible source to actually help them solve this specific problem that they have or achieve the specific goal. So when it is that they're in market or they're ready to actually purchase that solution, you'll be the first person that comes to mind that can actually help them based on that education that you would have done to position yourself as an expert in their mind. Now, as a result of that, that's how you create your sales opportunities. And then if you have a pretty good sales process, if you have a pretty good conversion rate, then that's how it leads to revenue growth. So let me give a quick few examples as to what creating a sales opportunity may look like. So there are ways you can do it directly, such as generating inbound leads and inquiries. So for me, for example, I post a lot of educational content on LinkedIn. And every now and then when someone has a need for content marketing services, they'll reach out to me in my DMs to say, hey, Winston, I realize that you speak a lot on content marketing. I love help with my content marketing strategies or how we can apply content marketing within our business, right? So that's it directly. Indirectly, there are other ways, such as one instance where I was invited to be a guest speaker at a conference. I delivered at that conference. Someone who was in the audience actually saw my presentation, liked what I had to say, started following me on LinkedIn, which later on led to a sales opportunity in the form of that person reaching out to me to say, hey, we're ready to implement content marketing within our company. We're looking for a partner, our vendor who can help us to do that. And even more recently, when I was invited to be one of the panelist judge for the MBA marketing students at Mona School of Business and Management, I came in, I did my thing, and someone who is a student of that particular cohort actually has a business. So that person collected my number and later on, since just this week, reached out to me to say, hey, we're looking to scale what we're already doing with our business and we want to implement marketing strategies. And just based on the feedback that you gave on your interaction within that particular setting, they saw me as a credible expert who could probably help them with their business. And so now we're in discussions around how I could possibly help them. And there have been other instances as well where I've been putting out content. Specifically, let me tell you about two examples. So there was the Pepsi training deal that I got where I was putting out content. And when the Pepsi team, the marketing team that is, was ready for someone to come in and train someone who works at Pepsi that doesn't work within the marketing team, but that person knows of my content, that person recommended me to the team to have trained them. And so that's how that particular sales opportunity come about, simply because that person who recommended me saw me as an expert who could actually help the Pepsi team and train the Pepsi team. It was the same thing when I got the JMB deal to help train their marketing team, where their CMO have been following me on LinkedIn for a while, saw me as a credible source to help train their team on certain content strategies that could help them with their marketing and business objectives. And so that's how I got in to actually help train their team. But it's not just with my particular situation. I mean, there have been other instances. For example, I mentioned about when I worked at Core Talk. We were selling this new revolutionary piece of technology. It was very hard to get customers to buy into it because it was fairly new. So what I started doing was to create blog posts, educational blog posts to position the company as an expert in two-way SMS communication. And as a result of that, customers saw that. They saw us as the expert based on how we positioned ourselves. and it made the buyer friction a whole lot less. So they were more open to hearing about the technology. So we got a lot more meetings and we ended up closing a lot more deals, especially with bigger accounts, right? So that's how sales opportunities were created in that instance. And there have been other instances where there was a particular company or brand. The CEO had been trying to close a deal with a particular company for 12 months of negotiating. The deal seemed to have been stagnant. It wasn't going anywhere. And so when we came in, we told them, hey, let's create educational content to position the brand as experts in what you guys offer. We did that, and we shared one of the blog posts with the company that or the CEO or that particular deal they were negotiating to try and get closed for the past 12 months. The CEO of that company read that blog post, and as a result of that, we were able to close that deal in less than 30 days, simply because the trust had now been built up between the company that we were working for and the potential client that they were trying to sign, because now that particular client saw them as a trusted expert in what they did simply through content. So these are just some examples as to how creating content to build your brand authority, to position yourself as an expert, can lead to sales opportunities. And then if you have a really good sales process and conversion process in-house, then you can convert most, if not some of those deals, which drives your revenue growth for your company. So it seems very simplistic in me speaking about it, but believe me when I tell you, it works. It has been working. I've seen it work for the past 14 years now, and to this day it still continues to work for me, and it continues to work for the clients that I work with.